The Indian government has recently asked VPN service providers to register and record certain information about its users for a period of at least 5 years. This was one among the several new directives issued by CERT-In, or Central Emergency Response Team, which is India's national agency that looks into matters of cybersecurity. The new directives are slated to come into effect from June 27 this year. However, experts say that these rules raise serious privacy concerns, especially the ones about VPN service providers. But before moving ahead, let us understand what a VPN really is. VPN, or a virtual private network, establishes a secure and encrypted connection between a user and the internet. VPN helps users hide their browsing history, IP address, and geographical location, as well as their web activities and the devices being used. In a connected world, it is of immense use to journalists, whistleblowers, and activists. Now, let us understand how the new rules pose challenges to a VPN user's privacy. CERT-In's new rules require VPN service providers to collect and store certain accurate information for a period of at least 5 years, even after a customer has cancelled his or her subscription. The personal information to be collected and stored includes names, IP addresses, emails, contact numbers, and purpose for using the VPN service. Data centers and cloud service providers will also have to abide by these directives. Non-compliance of these norms can attract a jail term of up to 1 year. Many VPN service providers offer a no-log policy where they promise to not collect or log traffic that passes through their servers and users' online activities. But the new government directives ask the service providers to store information that is sensitive, personal, and identifiable in nature. Another provision raises the possibility of VPN providers being made to store usage logs, which include a person's browsing activity, for a rolling period of 180 days. Such rules go against the premise of VPNs, which thrive on anonymity and privacy. All organizations are mandated to maintain logs of their ICT, or Information and Communication Technology systems, in India according to the new regulations. The Internet Freedom Foundation said that the ambiguity over what is covered under all their ICT systems leads to concerns such as the government or private enterprises having access to more data than necessary.
So there are some VPN providers which do state that they are no-log providers. The nature of information which is necessary, zero logs VPNs will not be permitted and may suffer either blocking of their specific servers or even prosecution as entities by itself for non-compliance of these directions. The 180-day log retention, if you look at it, they're enabling logs of all their ICT systems. So by itself, it is a very general and vague requirement which is being placed on all entities. But to what it is applicable, it says all their ICT systems, which would essentially mean all types of activity. It's intended to improve cyber security, but ultimately ends up undermining it. Also, certain mandatory data retention provisions will increase the kind of personal data that service providers need to store for longer periods of time. What happens is quite often IT systems are insecure or their vulnerabilities discovered. Now, when you're mandating as a security measure to store more details about you, about me, by saying that it makes us more secure, it actually makes us more insecure. It's counterintuitive because the details may leak and then the individual may get profiled, the information may get misused. So the view of this policy document is towards undermining privacy. Several provisions may increase surveillance powers. There's no data protection authority to ensure that the data which is asked by certain and is stored will be used only for the purposes of cyber security.
3 VPN service providers, Surfshark, Proton VPN, and ExpressVPN, have told a US tech publication that they don't plan to follow India's new rules on data collection. All 3 reportedly expressed intention to continue with their no-logs policy. The US tech magazine quotes Proton VPN as saying that India's new requirements will erode civil liberties and make it harder for people to protect their data online. Experts also question how these data collection and retention requirements will help in improving cybersecurity. Moreover, localization requirements also raise concerns about surveillance, especially in the absence of a dedicated data protection authority.
If you like this video, share it and subscribe to Business Standard. For more news, views and insights, log on to www.business-standard.com. Do also follow us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Telegram and LinkedIn.